I have reviewed many Yunzii keyboards from their AL lineup, and it's probably one of the best aluminum keyboard lineup there is. I tested the AL65, I think it was the version 1, the AL66, AL68, AL75, AL80, and now we are going to take a look at the biggest layout in the AL series. Probably not the biggest because they might release a 100% layout keyboard, but that's a story for another video. 98% keyboards to 100% keyboards are widely known for their completeness. On smaller keyboards like the 60% layout, it's likely that it doesn't have the arrow keys. On 75% keyboards, you won't be getting the numpad, but on this keyboard, you're basically getting the whole package. Let's talk about it. Upon seeing the whole body, the first thing I noticed was the paint and coat. This keyboard has a different finish compared to the whole AL series. It is powder coated with this glittery effect. Once again, I'm not a big fan of these coating designs, but to be honest, they look good. It's not overwhelmingly glittery and no imperfections on the coat. What I have here is the black color, but Yunzii offers it in white and pink as well. This is an all aluminum chassis, and with this size and layout, it is very heavy. In fact, this keyboard weighs a whopping 2.15 kilograms. Not exactly the travel keyboard type, but these larger layouts are designed to sit on your desk all the time. This keyboard has an 1800 ANSI layout with 101 keys. We have a thok blocker between the left arrow key and the right control key. We also have this part right here with these 3 lines that are carved out, and this kind of like a cloud shape engraving with a diffuser and an RGB underglow that is also the indicator for your battery status. And talking about the underglow, this keyboard has a really bright RGB underglows. That is because of the south-facing sockets on the PCB. It inarguably makes the underglow a lot brighter than with north-facing, and also prevents any interference with other keycaps, particularly chair profile keycaps, which are mounted right now. You can change the effects using some key combinations like the function button and the pipe key, as well as the function button and the enter key. This is also VIA/QMK compatible, and there you can customize the RGB underglow as well as reprogram or remap the keys to your preference. Although I think Yunzii hasn't uploaded the JSON file yet on their official website, but I will be putting the link in the description once they do. Looking at the side, we have this thick top base and this bottom base as a second layer. For the edges and corners, they are both rounded out, and on the back facing part on the bottom base are the switch and ports. We have the switch to power the keyboard. At the same time, select your connectivity mode, and the USB-C port to charge or use this keyboard wired. The typing angle is good, not a single muscular strain while typing on really long sessions. The only drawback of aluminum keyboards though is that they don't have, well, most of them don't have a flip stand on the back, and that is why it is very crucial for keyboard companies to achieve the most optimal typing angle, because you can't adjust it. You can, however, buy a wrist rest like these, which you can also use on other aluminum keyboards that doesn't have flip stands. It does have rubber feet to prevent the keyboard from moving around while it is being used. We also have this huge metal panel that has this grill-like design here, and also this big AL98 name. The design I think swayed a little bit from what we saw on the previous AL keyboards, which has that huge mirror-like panel on the back with the mountain engravings, and on this part is the magnetic compartment for the 2.4 GHz wireless dongle, which I think is very seamless. So this keyboard has tri-mode connectivity, meaning you can connect this keyboard using the 2.4 GHz wireless dongle to your PC, wired connection using a USB-C port, and Bluetooth, which you can connect up to 3 devices. So all in all, you can connect this keyboard up to 5 devices and cycle through them using key combinations. It is also powered by an 8000 mAh battery, which is big enough to maintain the very bright underglow of this massive keyboard. It also lasts 5 days with the RGB set to the max brightness and over 35 days with the RGB lights turned off. The keycaps mounted are very similar to the AL80, which also had a white on black, white on gray, and black on white. They are double shot that prevent the chirping and wearing of the characters on the keycaps. PBT, that is far superior material in terms of longevity. Sharp profile, my personal favorite profile for keycaps. I think they are very minimal and subtle and give off that retro vibe. These keycaps are partnered with Yunzii's Milk version 2 linear switches, and you can also choose the Cocoa Cream V2s. Both are really great. They are very talky in their own respective typing feel. The Cocoa Cream V2 has much more snappier typing feel, resulting in a very loud deep clack. The Milk V2s, however, I would say they are much calmer, but it still has that solid bottoming feel. These are 5-pin linear with a clear polycarbonate top housing, a 13.3mm palm stem, stainless steel single stage spring, and a PA66 bottom housing. They have an operating force of 40 grams that bottoms out at 50 grams. Pre-travel of 2mm that maxes out at 3.6mm. They also have an RGB diffuser that helps with the dispensation of the RGB underglow. These switches are mounted on a 3-pin to 5-pin hot swappable sockets with south-facing RGB LEDs. Let's open this keyboard up to see the internals. The screws are on the front-facing part underneath the keycaps and switches. Top frame is really good, very nice build quality, and there are no imperfections on the paint coat. There are also foams where the plate mounting points are sitting. Here's the plate, which is screwed together to the PCB. This is purely white, 1.2mm thick polycarbonate plate, and it explains the very bright underglow. This white plate does a really good job at spreading and amplifying the light. It also has little flex cuts, but as little as they are very bouncy and offers very cushioned typing experience. There are no cutouts for a stepped caps lock key and no other layout options available. The plate-mounted stabilizers are well-tuned and lubed. For the dampeners, we have this Poron sandwich foam, ISP switch pad, and this sort of paper film that is stuck to the PCB with adhesives. I recommend not removing this one. We also have this very thin neoprene foam on the bottom with an anti-static film. Here's the PCB, 1.3mm with flex cuts around the sockets, no holes for screen stabilizers, and no other layout options available. It also has this nice Yunzii logo for branding. Like the top frame, the bottom base also has a really great build quality and paint job. We have here the two 4000 mAh battery and the daughter board, all of which are using JSC connectors to connect to the PCB. And now for the sound test. Although it may seem like this keyboard veered a little bit from the original AL series design, it still has that premium feel, the color scheme, and the soul of the AL series. This keyboard is perfect for people looking for an 1800 layout keyboard for their productivity and a little bit of gaming as well. The AL series is personally reviewed and tested by me, and this keyboard is a fine addition to that lineup.